No matter your age, your plan for retirement can start today. From the News Channel 5 Network, this is the Retirement Report.
Good morning. Welcome to the Retirement Report. I'm Hank Parrott, your host. We're going to be talking directly in particular to baby boomers about Social Security, but it's going to apply basically to everyone. But in particular where baby boomers are either in retirement or nearest to retirement, certainly in the radar. I'm going to specifically get into some questions about Social Security that I hear all the time. One of the most common, of course, is, will Social Security even be there for me? You know, will I be able to count on it? And we're going to give you the numbers direct from the trustees of the Social Security Administration, the trustee fund, if you will. And these trustees basically put out a report every year, and we can see what the finances are. And yes, there's some fixes that need to be made to keep the system solvent, to pay out what we've to pay us basically what we've been promised. Now, in doing that, we know this isn't the first time it happened. The first time was basically back in the 80s, and when President Reagan had to revamp the system back at that time. And because it was insolvent or nearing insolvency, and they made some changes. One of those was they increased the retirement age from 65 to 67, depending at what age you are when you retire. For baby boomers, that's going to be from age 66 to 67, again depending on the year, and we'll get into that. The importance is to also understand how Social Security fits when you're talking about retirement. All right, one of the things, if you think about the value of Social Security, I'm going to talk about this more, but according to the Social Security Administration, Social Security makes up about 40% of what income you're going to need in retirement to cover your monthly expenses. In other words, to maintain your standard of living and quality of life. Now, of course, that's just a rough number. It can vary. This is the averages that we get, again, from the Social Security Administration. When I sit down with clients each and every week and we're calculating it out, though, it gets much more specific as to their given situation, depending on what type of income they have currently, what type of expenses they have, and what that's going to look like in retirement. If you're making, if you have a large income, for instance, a couple $100,000 a year, and you're used to spending accordingly, then that number may be more like 20% as to what Social Security may make. And then there's a lot of other things we're going to talk about as well, and how to maximize your Social Security benefits to make sure you can get the most out of them. When the best time to apply for Social Security is another common question. May not realize that Social Security benefits are taxed. And then so that brings up the question, how can I minimize taxes on my Social Security? And how this ties in with other things that you're doing in retirement. Are you going to have a pension, for instance? What impact might that have on your Social Security benefits? And of course, when you're looking at that, you look at the amount of money that you've saved, maybe in your 401k or 403b, or if you're a fellow employee or military, your thrift savings plan. What type of money are you going to be able to pull for income from that? And then maybe even if we have time, we'll get into some questions about how to maximize that. And this again goes to taxation. Tax efficient investing is one way that you can also minimize taxes on Social Security benefits. So it's a lot we're going to try to get into today. One of the things I want you to understand with Social Security planning is that Social Security is such an important part of your overall planning. When you're looking at the value of it, if you were going to receive $2,000 a month, for instance, what that means over your lifetime, you could be talking, just living, say, 10 or 12 years, you could be talking over $300,000 in lifetime benefits. So we want to get into the values here and how you make sure you maximize that for yourself, all right? Now, one of the things I'm going to do for the first 10 callers, I do Social Security planning as a part of the overall comprehensive plan that we do. So therefore, when you come in, for the first 10 callers, I'm going to make this easy. We're going to do a free retirement income analysis. That means a full-blown, comprehensive financial plan. So we're going to get in. Social Security is just one piece of that. Another part, and we factor it in, of course, in doing your projections for what your financial future is going to look like based on the things you're doing now and those decisions you're going to make about when you take Social Security, or if you're already taking Social Security, ways to minimize taxes and maximize those benefits as well. So for the first 10 callers to my office, 615-376-5325. Tess is standing by. She'll get your information. She'll send you out a packet, some forms to fill out, and a checklist of things to bring to your appointment with me. And these are things I'm going to need to be able to do that assessment for you. One will be a copy of your Social Security statement, for instance. And if you're not sure how to get it, we even send you instructions on how you can do that, so you can check on it any time that you like online. Another thing that we're going to do is we're going to get into your investment analysis. We're going to do the whole planning, again, however long that takes. I want you to have something truly of value that you can use, all at no cost, for the first 10 callers. And in addition, when you come in to see me, I'll give you a copy of my book, 7 Steps to Financial Freedom in Retirement. And I cover a lot of things in there, Social Security being one of them, but about the basics. Just in the first 2 chapters, we talk about the basics of setting up that foundational financial plan to make sure you're not going to run out of money in retirement, and that you're going to be able to maintain your standard of living and quality of life. Okay, you know, one of the things too, when we talk about standard living, there's that amount that you need now to just continue to do what you're doing, but it's also, we want to put some fun money in there, right? We want to make sure that you can, when you're retired, okay, if you decide, now many clients work in retirement, so when we talk about retirement, it doesn't mean necessarily just sitting on the rocking chair on the front porch, right? That old picture. What we're talking about is what you want your life to look like when you get to that age where you're financially free. You're able to live on what you make from Social Security, maybe from pensions, from your savings, from your retirement accounts, how to maximize those so that you can really enjoy life. Toss in some fun money, whatever that might look like for you, for whatever reason you want to use it for, if it's travel, if it's, you know, whatever your hobbies, whatever things that you really enjoy, so you can do more of those and truly enjoy your life, okay? Now, let's talk about what baby boomers want to know. Will Social Security be there for me? You know, this is one of the big questions, and we're going to talk about the funds and basically reassure you that yes, it will, but I want you to see the numbers for that so you know why. How much can you expect to receive? And we're going to talk about how they calculate out your benefits and what you can do to, in fact, to improve that. When should you apply for Social Security? This is one of the biggest questions I get asked. You know, do I apply at 62? Do I wait? You know, what happens at 65? What about 66? Or depending on your age, all the way 66 in some months up to 67. Do I delay taking maybe until age 70? What are the benefits there? We're going to cover that with you. When should you apply? So next is, how can you maximize your benefits? Well, there goes, when applying is one of those. The other is how to minimize taxes on your benefits. That's one way, right? What good is it if you get this amount of benefit in and then you turn right around, you have to give 10, 15%, 20% or more back in taxes, right? So how can we minimize taxes? Will Social Security be enough to live on in retirement? If you're thinking that Social Security is enough to live on in retirement, this is one of those areas where for most people, that's not going to be the case, and we're going to talk about how to calculate that as well. As you know, again, according to the Social Security Administration, Social Security represents about 40% of the average retiree's total income. So by coordinating that with things like pensions or other income sources, we talked about, of course, retirement accounts, but also this could be, you might have rental properties. You may have income coming in from other sources that can help you with regard to your retirement. It's all about income. You know, you can see, we see all the time where people accumulate millions of dollars during their lifetime, right? How many times have we seen professional sports people, celebrities and the like that are now broke later in life after having millions, tens of millions, maybe even hundreds of millions of dollars, and how sad that is. So the real benefit is how much income will you have in retirement. Income, in fact, that you'll never have to worry about running out of, and Social Security is the foundation for that. We've got some more ways to do that as well, and we're going to get into these tips and show you how to make the most of Social Security as soon as we take, first we're going to take a break, then as soon as we come back, we're going to jump into that. So join me here, we'll be right back on the Retirement Report.
This is a Storm 5 HD weather update. Sign up for